What is going on, everybody? I am the FD Guru, bringing to you guys a Wednesday NBA edition of my DFS podcast. I'm doing a free Guru credit code in this video. As I usually do, I will give you that code for 15 credits after the first couple of my plays. The credits are for my website. Got 8 games on the main slate tonight, and it's looking like a awesome main slate. We have some unbelievable DFS matchups tonight. Not a ton of injury news, but we do have value. All in all, this is one of the better slates that we've had in recent memory. All over this slate, I think we're going to do well. Last night, the hybrid did really well. The cash team also cash, but the hybrid put up 323. Smart 34 through, not even 3 quarters. He hurt his finger, didn't come back. He was on pace for almost 50 fantasy points. Ivy was a huge piece on this hybrid team. I had Kennard and Vince Williams both on cash and hybrid. They did really well too with the extra usage with no John Morant. Caleb Houston, never really felt great about him, but he was starting, kind of fit into lineups. Bane, Sabonis was a smash, and he was only 16% owned. Julius Randle, he played well, but they blew out the Blazers, so he didn't need to play in the fourth quarter. Chris Boucher was all over him, thought he was going to be a great value play, and then we saw Thaddeus Young start out of nowhere and play like, I don't even remember how many minutes it was, but it was over 25 minutes, which was insane, and obviously that hurt Boucher. I mean, Thaddeus Young has not been a part of that Raptors rotation, so that was shocking that he started, but nonetheless, we had a good night overall. GPP didn't quite get there. Ended up spending up on Luka on the GPP. It didn't really pan out, but new night tonight. Hopefully we can sweep the board. I feel very confident about this slate tonight. We'll start off with point guard at Tre Jones at 5,600. His price is just not high enough. Last 2 games he has started. A lot of people have been saying that he should be starting this whole time as a real point guard. They opened up the season starting Jeremy Sohan as the point guard, which made no sense because he's not a point guard. Tre Jones has been good. The last 2 games, the 2 games that he began to start, 35 and 34 minutes, 33 and 30 fantasy points. He's been about a fantasy point per minute kind of guy. At 5,600, he needs 27 fantasy points. He projects really well. He's going to be one of the more popular point guards on tonight's slate. Now, he initially started 2 games ago because Malachi Branham was out. He's back, but he also came back last game and he didn't start. So that makes me feel better that they're going to stick with Tre Jones. Branham came off the bench, only saw 15 minutes. He's honestly, I'm not a huge fan of him. I don't think he's that great. I don't know why he continued to start before he got hurt, but Tre Jones looks like the guy tonight. I couldn't love this Spurs and Pistons game anymore. We have a 238 over-under, a 3-point spread. The Pistons could definitely win this game at home against the Spurs. But in terms of, fantasy points, this just looks like a beautiful game to pick from. Pistons look good. The Spurs look good. And like I was saying, I forgot to touch upon the injury statuses of these guys. There's not a ton. We have Drew Holiday and Porzingis questionable for the Celtics. That could make a big difference. But that game is at 7 o'clock Eastern, so we should get news on that. What else do we have? Rudy Gobert is now questionable. D'Anthony Melton for the Sixers is questionable. We already know that Joel Embiid is out. So that's obviously pretty eye-opening. And then we have Zion Williamson questionable as well. So there's a couple of big names who are questionable, but not too many, considering it's an 8-game slate. And then we have the 2 10 o'clock and 10:30 Eastern games tonight for the after-hour slate. Decent chance I play that. FanDuel, like they've been doing, left it off of the main slate. Shooting guard, we're going to stick in this game on the other side. A guy who was a huge reason for the FanDuel hybrid success last night at low ownership. Jaden Ivy. Do they show the prices of last night? Yeah, Ivy was 6,400. And I think he's cheaper tonight. No, he's the same price. All right, 6,400, same price. I liked him last night in a little bit more of a risky spot against the Kings. But if I liked him last night, I'm going to like him tonight. It's an even better matchup. 6,400. He needs 32 fantasy points. He's projected for 31 points, rebounds, and assists if you go over to Prize Picks. And then if you add in the bonus points you get for assists and rebounds and then steals and blocks, he's well projected over 32 fantasy points. He's probably around 34, 35 fantasy points. Got 39 last night in 32 minutes. That wasn't a coincidence that he saw 32 minutes. Cade Cunningham being out for a little bit here. Ivy's obviously going to see an uptick in usage. He looks like a great play. You can put him at point guard. You can put him at shooting guard. Just an unbelievable matchup here for both teams, the Spurs and the Pistons. Going over to my website for that Guru credit code. These Guru credits get you all content that I post. You'll be able to see the main slate, NBA. If you go off this NBA tab, you can see FanDuel, DraftKings, and these credits get you all of my lineups that I post. Go over to the shop page. You have to be signed in. You'll get 15 credits. It's just the date. It's always all caps. Jan 10 coins. Jan 10 coins. Apply coupon. It will say coupon successfully applied. And you'll get 15 credits added into your balance. Again, just like this video, subscribe, put my alerts on so you don't miss any future videos and future giveaways that I do. I do giveaways in these videos pretty often. So, again, go to the shop page, put in that code for those credits. Small forward, this is another great game to pick from. The Wizards and Pacers. It's only a 7.5 point spread due to the fact that Halliburton is out for a little bit, but great news yesterday. It's a grade 1 hamstring strain, so he's only expected to miss a couple of weeks, which is, I'm not even a Pacers fan, but I'm an NBA fan. The league is better with Halliburton. That's best case scenario. That looked like that could have been really bad. Looked like he could have tore something and been out. Literally, I was thinking the worst case scenario, he could have been out for the rest of the season. He did the splits. He slipped. He traveled. He turned the ball over, and then he couldn't even stand up and walk off the court. So to see that it's like a 1 to 2 week thing or 2 to 3 weeks, that's a blessing. But we got to take advantage of this value in DFS. In the DFS world, we got to take advantage of Halliburton being out. Wizards and Pacers, 252.5 over under. We're going to go to Benedict Mathurin. Decent chance he doesn't start. He's not projected to start. Nembhard is projected to start at point guard, and then their usual four, Bruce Brown, Aaron Nesmith, Jalen Smith, and Miles Turner. But Mathurin's still going to see a bunch of minutes off the bench. Halliburton plays 36 to 38 minutes a game. When Halliburton went out in that first half last game, we saw Mathurin play, extended minutes, 30 minutes. We can expect that from him tonight. We can project him for 28 to 32 minutes. He played 35 2 games ago. 2 really good games against the Boston Celtics. And the Celtics have a stingy defense. You should not be putting up good games against the Celtics. Such a better matchup here tonight at home against the Wizards. The Wizards have one of the worst defenses in the league. Mathurin at 5,900 needs 29 fantasy points to hit value. He's been playing well over the last five games. 4 out of the last 5 games he's hit value. He's going to see extra minutes tonight with Halliburton off the court. And then obviously when he's on the court, he's going to see a lot more usage due to the fact that Halliburton won't be out there. So Mathurin looks like the best value play in the absence of Halliburton because they've already, FanDuel was way ahead of this. McConnell's 7K, Nembhard is 6K, and then those are really the 3 guys I thought would benefit the most. I think Mathurin didn't get properly priced up. Bruce Brown you could maybe look at with the extra usage too. 5,700 though, he went up a little bit uncomfortable. I'd rather just spend $200 more and go to Mathurin in my opinion. He looks pretty good. He can also play small forward and shooting guard, which just makes it easier to fit into your lineups. Power forward, oh god. I thought I had Sabonis in at power forward, but I have him at center. I can't wait to go off on Sabonis. I have Nikola Jovic. Now, it's a weird one with him. He was low owned 2 nights ago, last slate. I had him on the cash team, and he cooked. 21 minutes, and he did like everything. He didn't even score. 6 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 blocks, 2 steals, 34 fantasy points. Now, I went into today when I woke up, I'm like, God, I don't want to have to pick Jovic again. But if he's under 5K, I think I have to. And I look, and he's 4,500. You kind of have to. He's going to start. Good matchup against the Thunder. Fast pace. We can project him for 22 to 28 minutes. The big thing here, too, is Kyle Lowry is now out. So not only is, well, he's not out yet. Martin and Lowry are doubtful. Jimmy Butler is still out. So he's going to start. And his price is just not high enough at 4,500. He needs 22 fantasy points. He's done that in 2 out of the 3 games that he's seen extended minutes with no Jimmy Butler. And he just looks good. I mean, I'm not saying he's a must-play, but for a sub-5K guy tonight, Kyle Lowry, I know he plays a completely different position, but it just opens up that many more minutes. They're probably going to slide Tyler Hero to point guard, put Duncan Robinson at shooting guard, and it's just one less guy to get in the way of Jovic's minutes. Looks good. I don't see why we don't project him for at least 21 minutes. He played 21 minutes last game, and he's played more than that the last 3 games, and now Kyle Lowry's out. So they have even less guys. They would have to try really hard to not play Jovic, and he played really well last game. So looking at the film, looking at the stat sheet, they saw that Jovic did everything and was a huge help to the team. I would be shocked if he didn't come into this game with at least a 22-minute minimum because he's done that last 3 games. So he looks pretty good. He showed a ceiling last game with the steals and blocks. Just someone to look at. I don't know what I'm doing yet. Maybe I put him on hybrid, keep him off of cash to be a little bit riskier. But one way or the other, Jovic needs to be targeted tonight. At only 4,500. I thought for sure he'd be up at 5K by now, but he's not. So Jovic looks pretty good. Lowry and Martin and Butler, I mean, the Heat are shorthanded. So do with that information as you will. And then for center, let's just go back to our guy. I mean, Sabonis won us the slate last night. I put him on the hybrid. I put him on the cash. Loved him. Now on DraftKings, I didn't play him because Anthony Davis was the same price. So I had to play Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis was like $1,500 more on FanDuel. Had to take advantage of him on DraftKings. So I had Sabonis just on FanDuel. Absolutely destroyed the Pistons. I was worried about that game being a blowout. But I said in yesterday's video, if that game stays remotely close, he's going to be able to do whatever he wants. And what does he do? A 37-point triple-double with 3 steals, 72 fantasy points. He's projected out to be another smash value play tonight. Another great game here. Like I said, this slate looks awesome. You got Philly at Atlanta, fast-paced game. You got the Spurs at the Pistons, the Wizards at the Pacers, and now you got the Kings at the Hornets. Just another unbelievable DFS game. A pace-up spot, 230 over-under. 7.5-point favorites are the Kings, but they're on the road, and they're on a back-to-back. I sneaky like the Hornets at plus 7.5 if you were to bet on this game. I'm certainly not worried about a blowout. And this game just looks really good. Sabonis played Jalen Duren last night, and Duren's a good defensive player. He made Duren look like a little boy. Duren got into foul trouble, was an absolute train wreck trying to cover Sabonis. And now he's got a matchup against Nick Richards. And Nick Richards is half as good as Jalen Duren. So Sabonis, we're only getting an easier matchup tonight with borderline a faster pace than last night. There's nothing to not love about Sabonis. I hope he goes low owned again. He was 15% last night. I don't think people are going to fade him again tonight. I'm definitely going to be on him again. He won us all the money last night. So look at Sabonis, and he's just 51 fantasy points to hit value. He's projected for 53 tonight, and then he has that 70-point ceiling like he did literally 20 hours ago. So Sabonis looks great. Love the multi-positional eligibility, center and power forward on FanDuel. One of the best value spend-ups on the board, just like last night. That'll do it for this video, guys. We got the NFL playoffs, wild card weekend coming up too. Got the playoff memberships open. Got to message me. looking for a nice, successful NFL playoff run. And let's get after tonight's NBA slate. Until next time, I am the FD Guru. Peace.